And this is what it's all led up to. The final race of the weekend here. It's going to be Senior Rotax Super Final. Kai Hunter and Tristan Rennie will be taking us away from the front row of the grid from Philip Rawson and Scott Mackerel. Pearson Carter and James Loafer will be on the third row of the grid from Thomas Wood and Stephen Duncan. Lucas Ellingham has really turned his weekend around, starting on the fifth row of the grid, joined alongside by Jack Lilly. Angus Scrivener and Callum Kinder are on the sixth row of the grid. Then Lorenzo Cordell, Charlie Pritchard, George Hunter, Isaac Lord, Theo Fedrick, Jack Bate, Jack Collins and Stephen Napier rounding out the 10th row of the grid. The 11th row will be led by Leo Purchase, Jay Lewis, Joe Pearson, Ramarion Ubi and Andrew Hughes, with Will Murdoch on the 18th row of the grid alongside him. That's on the 18th row of the grid. Then we're going to have Benny Chilton, Kian Leonard, Oliver Duffel and Gavin Dewar on the 15th row of the grid. So on the 16th row of the grid, the 31st and final driver taking part this weekend is Nathan Guzzi. Unfortunately, we will be missing one driver this weekend, which has been withdrawn on medical terms by the medical staff. Luckily, he is okay, but just not fit for racing at this time being. Yep. Senior Rotax accelerate out the final corner, and we go racing. So, green flags fly. Kai Hunter got a great start there as he drives away from the rest of the field going into the first corner. And as we now go up through the dog leg, Tristan Rennie just able to tuck into second position there as he was starting on the front row of the grid as well. Down towards the center S's. Let's have a look at what's going on. Two drivers round, one driver facing the wrong way. Able to get going again though. That's great to see everybody able to continue. As many drivers making up a few positions on that first lap. One driver not making up positions, but is making up ground already, is Kai Hunter. Driving away from the rest of the field as Tristan Rennie has to go a little bit defensive from what looks like Philip Rawson in behind him. Through the final section. Yep, that is the number 29 of Philip Rawson in third position right now. Around the paddock bend and around the final corner, we go down the straight. Let's see who's made up positions. Let's have a little rundown of the top 10 so far. Kai Hunter, Tristan Rennie, Philip Rawson, Pearson Carter, and James Loafer. You can see the rest of the running order on your screen now. A 14-minute final is what is being taken place here at the Ultimate Karting Championship. Down into the center as we go. And overtaking in the background, that was Lucas Ellingham going for a move on Thomas Wood. So Thomas Wood will be dropped down into 9th, and Ellingham up another place. Lorenzo Cordell getting his elbows out after a retirement in the superheat. That really puts him in a jeopardized position for the final, starting lower down than he very much would have been hoping for. He'll be fighting his way through with nothing to lose. In the mid-pack, plenty of battles going on right now. You can see Cordell all over the back of the number 41 of Angus Scrivener. So Angus Scrivener, Lorenzo Cordell both made their way past Charlie Pritchard on that previous lap as they fight forwards. Cordell in 12th position, definitely not the place that he deserves to be with the pace that he's shown over the course of the weekend and how he's driven. But this is how the cookie crumbles, especially with having a retirement. Diving down the inside, a very late move there from Pearson Carter. The number 75 tries to go for a move down the inside. And this is the battle in the mid-pack. You can see defending on the inside. We see many drivers. That's Thomas Wood, the number 8, slotted in behind Lucas Ellingham, who's trying to get involved in the battle. We saw a move in front of him. That was Stephen Mackerel losing a position to Stephen Duncan. Scott Mackerel, losing a position to... Philip Rawson losing a position to Scott Mackerel. Ellingham not able to capitalize on the moves being made in front of him. Let's see if anyone is able to pick up any places this time round as they go down towards St. John's and very shortly into the center S's. Going into the first center S. No attempts for a dive down the inside into the second. We see a couple drivers think about it, but nothing quite yet. Lorenzo Cordell now makes his way past Thomas Wood and gets himself into 9th position. His next target is Ellingham. Dive down the inside there. That's the number 9 of Jack Lilly making a move on Angus Scrivener. So Scrivener losing another position down the field. Not being the start that he would have been hoping for as he's just losing place after place on the circuit. Kai Hunter already checked out in front right now as James Loafer trying to replicate the times being set by Kai Hunter. He's definitely not far off in terms of actual times being set, but he is in terms of the actual gap that's been formed in front of him already. 1.1 seconds is what separates those two karts. So everyone else making their way down right now. We can see there Cordell's managed to make his way past Ellingham. So Ellingham down into 9th, Cordell up into 8th as he's on a charge through the field. After that retirement in the superheats, he's given it everything he's got, not leaving anything on the table, is the KMS driver. The second seed from last year, trying to improve on that, but it's looking hard to do with Kai Hunter on such good form that he's been on these past 3 rounds. He won last round out in Larkhall, and it's looking set for him to win once again out in Warden Law. So down into what is going to be St. John's, into the Senna S's. No attempts for an overtake just yet in this pack of drivers. You can see there, that's the number 26 having to make a move. So the number 26, who was that making a move up the inside? We'll have a little look further down the field. That was Charlie Pritchard going for a move on Angus Scrivener. So Scrivener loses out another position there. And as we go round through the horseshoe, down the hill and into the final bend of Paddock Bend, Lorenzo Cordell, he may have made the move a couple of laps ago, but he's definitely not sitting easy as Ellingham has tagged onto the back of that number 2 car and he is following him as closely as he can around this circuit. We're looking at the number 75 there leading the whole train of karts as Pierce and Bullock Carter leading the way from Scott Mackerel and Philip Rawson. So Lorenzo Cordell has now arrived onto the back of Stephen Duncan. Just a matter of time before Cordell attempts to make an overtake. We go down towards Gasworks, and there is the move. We said it was a matter of time. No, it was a matter of corners. Lorenzo Cordell down the inside, capitalizes on the gap that he had on the inside, going down into Gasworks and makes his way past Stephen Duncan. Very good move there from Lorenzo Cordell. Textbook overtakes and a great race so far as the drivers make their way through the dog leg once again. Now storming down the hill into St. John's, carrying as much speed as possible as you can before you get into the heavy braking zone of the first of the Senna S's, and it's a great overtaking zone for 2 of the drivers there, as that's Philip Rawson and Lorenzo Cordell both making their way into 5th and 6th position as Scott Mackerel loses out on another 2. So Stephen Duncan has now been disposed of by Ellingham. Ellingham now all over the back of Mackerel, as Mackerel has just lost 2 and lost all of his momentum as well that he's been carrying with him. I think it's fair to say I would not be surprised if I see him lose another position to Ellingham. It's not the case just yet though. So into the first corner we go. Great shot there by the cameramen, who have been doing a great job all over the course of the weekend to provide us with the finest camera action and the best of on-track views. So down through the Senna S's. There's another move in the mid-pack. That's Angus Scrivener making his way past Jack Lilly. Jack Lilly not so long ago made his way past the number 41, but the 41 returns a favour and gets himself back in a 10th position to secure himself some more championship points. Lorenzo Cordell up the inside, as well as Philip Rawson, as Pearson Bullock Carter has now dropped down another 2 positions. So from 4th to 6th goes Carter, as Cordell makes his way through, as well as Philip Rawson. Now they will be on the charge to try and catch on to Tristan Rennie, who's actually checked out from that battle by 2.5 seconds. So it's looking like it will be a difficult and tall order to ask for. Tristan Rennie looking quite secure in 3rd position right now with the gap that he has behind him. Actually only 7 tenths off the back of James Loafer, so he still is in contention for battling for that 2nd position. We'll have to see if the number 5 has the ambition to catch on to 2nd. Down through Gasworks we go. We're looking at this battle between Bullock Carter, Mackerel and Ellingham, all going to and fro as they go through the horseshoe section. And now around the final paddock bend, and we go down the main straight once again. Bullet Carter still leads the way of this battle. Mackerel has not been touched yet ever since the couple of drivers have disposed of him. Down through St. John's we go, and now towards the center S's. This is where overtake heaven is, as all of the drivers love to dive down the inside whenever they get an opportunity. And in the mid-pack, and we see another battle going on here. That's the number 19 being involved in that one. That looks like that's going to be Isaac Lord, Stephen Napier, and Jake Lewis all going at it. All battling for that one position of 17th. Isaac Lord being the front of that one. That was a move going into Gasworks there by the number 30. Sorry, or was that the number 20 of Theo Fedrick making a move on Callum Kinder? We will get confirmation as across the line. Yes, it was. It was Theo Fedrick making a move there on Callum Kinder. I apologise, going down into the Gasworks corner. So back up the hill we go into Dogleg and down through towards St. John's now once again. We're looking at the front of the field there. You can see Lorenzo Cordell already pulled a little bit of a gap over Bullet Carter behind him. Bullet Carter not able to shake off Mackerel, but Mackerel able to extend a little bit of a gap back to Ellingham in 8th position. So as the drivers file through once again, we go down towards Gasworks. No attempts for an overtake that time round as the rest of the field now follow through. That was the number 53 there. That was Callum Kinder. So around the final couple of bends and around the final corner, 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining on the clock as we go into turn 1. That's the 42 that we were looking at right there. That's the number 42 a little bit further down the field. We can see what position he's in. That's Jay Lewis in 18th, battling with Isaac Lord right now. Isaac Lord looking for that opportunity, as applying pressure right now is Jay Lewis as he's trying to get the move done on Stephen Napier. So a three-way battle for 17th position still brewing, as it looks like. Has he finally done the move? Yes, he has. Lucas Ellingham has made the move there on Scott Mackerel. Or no, sorry, was that Stephen Duncan battling there? Yes, it was. So Duncan periodically had gained 8th position, but Lucas Ellingham able to fight back going into Gasworks and is able to pull it back his way. As the rest of the field now filing through once again. Kai Hunter still extending his lead. 2.434 is the gap that he's been able to pull. 3 seconds to Tristan Rennie in 3rd position, who's only 6/10 of Jay Loafer now. So James Loafer not able to do anything about the pace that Rennie's putting down on circuit. Definitely not able to do anything about the pace that Hunter's been putting down. As we're looking at the number 29 there, that's Philip Rawson under a lot of pressure from Lorenzo Cordell. So Cordell worked together with Rawson to make their way through the field. Now will he work together with Rawson to try and catch on to Rennie in front, or will he go for the move as soon as possible? Let's have a look at the lap times that are being set by all of those drivers. We can see a 50 flat from Cordell and Rawson, and a 50.1 being done there by Rennie. So Rennie a little bit slower than both of these drivers. Cordell's not waiting around. He's not the one that's playing a team game in this race. He'll dive down the inside and make the move there. So Philip Rawson will lose out to Lorenzo Cordell as we now go down in towards Gasworks hairpin. There we're looking at once again, that's Stephen Duncan still trying to get the move done there on Lucas Ellingham. Ellingham looking in a vulnerable position right now is the number 99. Not the weekend he would have been hoping for, coming into this round 3rd in the championship, and really hasn't been on the top form that we're used to seeing there from the JDR Developments driver. So down through Dogleg we go. We're keeping an eye on this battle. Ellingham still in behind Bullet Carter. Then Rawson, Cordell, Rennie, Loafer, and inevitably Hunter out in front once again. Now we are hit the 1 minute mark, so less than 1 minute remaining in this race. A very spaced out and a calm race in comparison to what we're usually seeing from the senior Rotax drivers. But Tristan Rennie still rotating the circuit. We can see the rest of the drivers coming through down the home straight there. That's the number 74 looking over his shoulder. That's James Lothar. He sees that he still has a bit of a gap to Tristan Rennie. Unless something goes wrong within these final 2 laps, I can't see that changing the order, and I can't see anything changing for this man unless there's a mechanical failure. Kai Hunter, what a weekend it's been for him. He came into this weekend with high expectations, and he's definitely delivered over the course of this one. As walking away with this race, he walked away in the superheats. He was absolutely untouchable in those. And the checker flags looks like it will be taken there for Hunter on a very sunny day here in the northeast of England here. Sunderland, Warden, Law and Karting northeast. All the location we're taking place at right now. Kai Hunter diving into the first corner for the final time in this race. He can finally take a slight sigh of relief. It's not all done and dusted yet. But James Loafer being 2.2 seconds behind, there is not much that Hunter needs to worry about, and you can see that in terms of his lap times that's being set. You can see that Hunter is just easing off a little bit. He doesn't need to risk anything on this final lap. Just relaxing around the circuit. Down into Gasworks for the final time of this race, and into the final couple of corners. Kai Hunter, unstoppable, unbeatable and untouchable here at Warden Law. The home hero will come down the home straight. He opens his arms and will take the victory and take the checker flag here at Karting Northeast. Kai Hunter is victorious once again. Back-to-back victories here in the Ultimate Karting Championship. James Loafer will come across the line in second position from Lorenzo Cordell, and Philip Rawson in 5th. Pearson Bullock Carter just about holds on to 6th position from Lucas Ellingham. Then Stephen Duncan in 8th. Scott Mackerel and Angus Scrivener will round out the top 10. Wow, what a weekend it has been here for all of the competitors taking place, and what a final race to round it off in the senior Rotax. Kai Hunter with an outstanding drive, takes off from the rest of the field, takes off from the line. No one even hinders him out in front, and he knows that he was the best on this weekend.